Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about mental health abroad. All jokes aside, this is a serious issue. Leads a lot of people to leave where they're from and go someplace new. Life trauma, life circumstances, whatever. Carrying around that baggage isn't something that you can really outrun geographically. Albeit whether it's chemical dependency issues or, an underlying mental health concern that you have, there are a lot of places here in Cambodia where even as a foreigner you can receive treatment. And then of course there are a lot of services where you're from that you may actually still qualify for while you're living abroad. So we're going to jump into all this right now on another classic Walk and Talk. Let me begin by saying that when I got here about 4 years ago, I was in really rough shape, but there are a few things that I learned. I had a tremendous amount of support from different people reaching out to me, whether it was in the expat community or from people through social media. And I came out okay. I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on my life now. I've been sober about 2.5 years. I don't want to downplay at all how severe issues like chemical dependency, depression, anxiety could be for people who don't have the ordinary services, or they don't know where to find their ordinary services that they would have at their disposal where they came from, such as counseling and medications. I wanted to share in the description box a few links. You guys might want to check that out. I tried to add as many different demographics as I could, just to make sure I could help as many people find that info as possible. Chemical dependency, substance abuse, that's a big issue everywhere in the world. What I found really heartwarming as I stumbled along on my own journey was that Cambodia has a governmental drug addiction suppression center, and they're located throughout the country. It's its own department here in the government. They do help foreigners. There's a link for that government office in the description box of the video. Now it's going to be in Khmer, and I tried to translate what it would be. And it's basically like drug addiction correction center, which you say correctional center, where in America people think, oh shit, man, they're gonna put me in the can. So don't feel like you have to struggle in that just because you're abroad or fear, legal trouble. Now, what is certain in this part of the world, most places in this part of the world, if you do have problems with, meth or heroin and that sort of thing, and you get caught, you may never get out again. So that's also something to consider. The consequences of that behavior can be pretty severe. Okay, now in terms of general mental health care, counseling, services for juvenile children or adult dependents with autism, I would check out KCPS. They have a Phnom Penh office, and you can actually just go ahead and contact them through Facebook. Most businesses in Cambodia, including healthcare services, are going to be linked in with Facebook and other social media. If you just need a weekly counselor or you need special services, if you've moved over here to do something, NGO work, whatever, and you've got a child with autism, finding services is probably one of the critical things that you're considering in your move abroad. Like, oh crap, now what am I gonna do? There's also a Christian counseling service over here called Oasis House. Now, if you are a Christian person and you prefer counseling to be done in a more Christian, traditional manner, of course you have an option to do that here as well. Now, say you're a Buddhist, Hindu Buddhist, whatever, you can always go to the Wat, talk with the monks. A lot of them speak English, some of the smartest people, and they can sit there and counsel you. I see it all the time. They perform like a social worker. Health, finance, marital issues, whatever. I mean, people go to the monks as their counselors. If you need clergy, I wouldn't be afraid to reach out for that either. I mean, that's probably some of the best medicine for people. Traditional, Khmer medicine and understanding and bringing in Priya Kamai into my life. I think that definitely helped me quite a bit. So whatever your thoughts are on spirituality, you're going to have an option here as well. Where I'm from in the Midwest, a lot of places are just Christian founded, you know. One time I mentioned the hospital where I'm from called Calumet, and I thought that was the name of the one in Phnom Penh. It's Calumet in Phnom Penh, but there's a big hospital where I'm from called Calumet. You know that a lot of hospitals have like a Catholic roots name. There might be that presence on their services when, like with AA, they talk about Christian stuff. I mean, that may not always be appealing for everybody, so don't feel like, I remember feeling like, where would I even turn to? Who could I talk to? What would I even feel comfortable in as far as an environment, a milieu of other people with these issues? Would that itself make me comfortable if they were going to try to cram religion down my throat? Or, you know what I mean? Talk politics too. I came up with so many reasons not to do shit that it ended up like dragging it out forever, you know? And it held up a lot in my life, when really, when it comes right down to it, it was a lot easier to accept that help when I did reach out for it for real here than it ever was back home. I guess that's why I was inclined to make the video after being asked about it. I didn't want to talk too much about my life and my problems before, which were pretty serious, man. Today is a different story. I feel great. I don't have any complaints about anything. And I think that I owe a lot of that to the services I had at my disposal here. So I hope that even a brief, short, walk and talk shaky video by yours truly kind of helps put some light on that stuff and maybe relieve some of that stress. If you or a loved one of yours are coming to or living here in Cambodia, there are plenty of services for you when it comes to your mental health. And don't forget that online, just do a Google search. Even a local office where you're from might do a Zoom call with you once a week and still be covered by your insurance or whatever back home. So there are a lot of options. I want to mention those because not everybody is really keen on that stuff. So anyway, guys, I love you all. Appreciate the video idea. I gotta go back inside now. This is hot and it's about to rain again, I think. So anyway, until next time, guys, peace.